We was the first black family that had a car.
Really?
Yeah, my mother was a caterist.
A what?
Caterist.
Oh, yes.
She got meals for people, you know. So she'd working for a old man Shars, president of Shars Furniture Factory. She getting a meal for him one day. He said, "Miss Evans, I'm going to get me a new car." She said, "What are you going to do with this car, Mr. Shars?" "I'm going to sell it." He said, "How about selling it to me?" He said, "I don't know anybody I'd rather sell it to than you." It was a Glide automobile, Glide, Glide, Glide. It had a 8-cylinder Continental motor in it. That was the best motor made in those days. It was built up here in Peoria, Illinois. He had stock in the company. And there was 3 of them in Bloomington. He had one, his brother W.N. Shars had one, and Sanford Teeters, the treasurer of the company, had one. And she bought that car from him, and she said, "When your car comes in, you give me a ring." Well, a week went by, and the phone rang one day and said, "Your mother there?" I said, "Yes, Mr. Shar, she's here." She went to the phone. I heard her ask him how much you want for it. He said, "About $300. And she said, "Hold it." Says, "I'm coming right down." She went down to the Working Men's Building and Loan Association and drew money out, and she bought the car. And she had a friend, colored fellow, worked for the Adams Brothers. Adams Brothers, those 2 big stone homes on South College Avenue on 2nd Street.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they lived there. Bill Adams and I can't think of the other's name. But there's bankers and run the stone quarries and stone mills. And Ed Thomas colored fellow worked for him, chauffeur. And she said, "Mr. Thomas, I want you to go up to Mr. Shars, J.D. Shars, and get my car." Said, "You buy his car?" She said, "Yes." Said, "You got a good one," because he hadn't had that car out of Bloomington.
What year was that? Would that have been? Can you guess what year that would be?
1914.
1914.
1914. Well, every time he'd make an appointment with me to take me out to teach me how to drive, you know, Adams had something for him to do, and he kept putting me off. So my mother had a big appointment one time. She's going to get out and get a wedding breakfast and a wedding dinner and a brunch that day. Well, it's on Saturday. Well, she's going to work all day on Saturday. My dad worked all day at the barber shop. I was home by myself. I said, "Shoot, a great big car sitting back there in that barn." He said, "Nobody driving it." I said, "I'm going to take that car out and drive it, and learn how to drive that car if I have to tear it up." So I went and got in the car, started the car off, boy, it went purr, went off, just pretty easy. And I finagled around shifting gears, and when I hit the forward gear, I like to went through the garage. I kept my foot on the brake, and scared to death. So when I backed up Mr. Shaw's barn behind us, and I hit it right easy, and I kept on finagling around. I got the forward gear, and I went down Waldron Street went south on Waldron in place of turning right and going out towards Whitehall on, that way. I turned left, went right down through town. Went down to College Avenue and turned right on College Avenue, went to 3rd Street, and I turned left on 3rd Street and went out as far as Brown County. And I backed up and put the car back in the garage, and everything was lovely. I hadn't hit nothing, So the following week, my mother said, "Maurice, call me a taxi cab." I'll tell you the reason why mother wanted a car. When she'd go on a job, she'd go around these professors and lawyers and doctors and things. Their kitchen utensils would be so dirty and greasy, she'd have to wash them before she could cook in them, And so she wanted a car so she could take her own utensils, even coffee pots and everything on the job, see? That's the reason why she wanted a car. I says, "Mother," I says, "you don't have to call no taxi cab, I'll take you." She says, "Sonny," Says, how come you know so much about driving the car? I told him what I'd done. He said, Mother ought to spank you. He said, you might have killed somebody. Now I've been driving the car ever since.